There's a certain kind of person who hears there's a party this weekend and instantly starts thinking of an excuse. Not because they're sad, not because they're socially anxious, but because they genuinely prefer being alone. And psychology has finally caught up to the truth about them. Society has been getting them wrong for decades. There's an important difference between loneliness and solitude. One is a kind of emotional injury. The other can actually be a strength. For years, psychologists grouped everyone who enjoyed being alone into one worrying box: introverts, loners, antisocial types. That last label especially made it sound like enjoying solitude meant you were one bad day away from becoming a villain. Then research took an interesting turn. In 2016, psychologists at the University at Buffalo asked a question no one had seriously explored before. What if some people simply prefer being alone? Not because they fear others, not because they're broken, but because solitude genuinely makes them feel better. They called this trait unsociability. Not antisocial, that's hostility toward people. Not avoidance, that's driven by fear. Unsociability is a calm, confident preference for your own company. And when researchers studied people like this, the results were surprising. They weren't struggling, they were thriving. So what's actually happening inside the brain of someone who enjoys being alone? First, their dopamine system functions differently. Extroverts get large dopamine spikes from social interaction, the laughter, the energy, the stimulation of being around people. People who prefer solitude tend to have more sensitive dopamine systems. They reach their optimal level of stimulation much faster. Think of it like spice tolerance. An extrovert needs an entire jalapeno to feel anything. Someone who loves solitude needs just a tiny sprinkle of spice, and they're satisfied. It gets even more interesting when you look at the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for deep thought, self-reflection, and complex problem-solving. In people who enjoy solitude, this area becomes more active when they're alone. They're not just sitting around doing nothing, their minds are busy with introspection, creativity, and internal processing. In fact, research on creativity consistently shows that breakthrough ideas rarely come from group brainstorming or crowded cafes. They show up in quiet moments, in the shower, on solo walks, late at night when no one else is awake. Einstein did much of his most important work alone. So did Newton. Virginia Woolf famously wrote A Room of One's Own about the necessity of solitude. Maya Angelou even rented hotel rooms just so she could write in complete isolation, despite having a perfectly good home. That's not a coincidence. Before you start labeling yourself, because many of you are already thinking, this sounds like me, let's pause for a moment. There's an important distinction to make. Are you choosing solitude, or are you hiding in it? Some people don't embrace solitude, they use it as armor, a shield against rejection, judgment, or the vulnerability that comes with real connection. And this is where honesty matters. Psychologist Abraham Maslow spoke about this difference. He explained that healthy solitude comes from abundance, not lack. You enjoy being alone because you've experienced meaningful relationships and know you can have them again. You're not running away from people, you're moving toward yourself. So the real question isn't whether you like being alone, it's why you like being alone. If your reasons sound like recharge, create, think, or process, you're likely in a healthy place. If your reasons sound like safer, easier, or less painful, that might be something worth exploring. Not wrong, not broken, just something to look at, maybe with someone you trust.
Now let's return to the people who truly flourish in solitude, because they've understood something many others haven't yet. They've realized that being alone doesn't mean being incomplete. Think about how we talk about relationships. My other half, you complete me. We've built a story where humans are like broken pieces desperately searching for someone to make them whole. People who enjoy solitude have rejected that idea. They've decided they're already complete. And this isn't arrogance, it's self-awareness. Research by Dr. Bella DiPolo at UC Santa Barbara shows that single people who embrace solitude often have stronger relationships with friends, family, and their communities than people in romantic partnerships. That's because they don't expect one person to meet every emotional need. They aren't clinging, they're choosing. They understand that the quality of your alone time directly shapes the quality of your social time. When solitude leaves you grounded and clear-minded, you show up better in relationships. You're not drained. You're not resentful. You're not searching for someone to fill a void. You bring your full self to others because you've already spent time with yourself. There's real power in that. And here's something fascinating. In Japan, there's a word for this, hitori, meaning intentional alone time. And it's not just accepted, it's respected. There are restaurants designed specifically for solo diners, movie theaters with individual seats that don't make you feel out of place, even private karaoke booths meant for one person. Entire systems built around the idea that sometimes being alone is exactly what you need. Compare that to the West, where eating alone still invites questions like it's something to explain or defend. It's strange when you think about it. So what does this mean for you? If you genuinely enjoy being alone, consider this your permission. You're not strange. You're not broken. Your brain is wired to recover and recharge through solitude, and that's not just acceptable, it's valuable. The world needs people who can sit with themselves, think deeply without constant stimulation, and understand the difference between connection and dependency. In a time where everyone is expected to be constantly available, instantly responsive, and endlessly connected, the ability to truly enjoy your own company might be one of the most countercultural traits there is. Just make sure you're not confusing preference with protection. Check in with yourself honestly. Can you connect when you want to? Do you have people you trust? Are you choosing solitude or hiding from connection? Because the healthiest relationship with being alone is one where solitude is a choice, not a defense. The next time someone asks why you're always alone, why you canceled plans, or why you'd rather stay home with a book than go to a party, you can explain dopamine sensitivity, prefrontal cortex activity, hitori, Einstein, and the research proving that solitude isn't social failure. It's often social intelligence. Or you can just smile and say, because I like myself. That usually ends the conversation. And honestly, that's the point. If this video explained habits you've never been able to put into words, don't scroll away. The videos on screen go deeper. One explains why you recharge the way you do, and the other breaks down how your brain processes stimulation and how that shapes your daily behavior. They're not random. They answer the questions this video likely just raised. I'll see you there.